Yeah.
So,
Most people are in relationships right now anyway.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. So people are in. So the problem is not people not finding people. People are in relationships. It's just not moving to marriage. A lot of women want marriage because there's no security in just being. If there is, if you take his word for he's a great guy. Yes, we know there are a few. But what I'm saying to you is there is no true security in just being in a committed relationship without the legal the forms, whether it be overseas, however you get it done, to prove that, right?
What type of
But
security are you talking about? Financial security?
just security, period. I mean, only
The
thing,
legal protections you get because you
Okay,
are
I just wanted
married.
to be clear because there is protection, but I just wanted to make sure you
the legal
and
protect, and maybe you should
legal
maybe
protection.
we'll
Okay,
have an
got it.
episode about the protection that comes with but all I can go about is what I see because this is all new to me, right? There's no protection of wanting to leave. People who are not in secure relationships leave faster, right? um it's just you're just out taking a chance. I mean, so we're gonna move on. So anybody have anything else to sum this up? And we're gonna go to the next subject.
Yeah. So, because you asked a really good question about what happens when there's more people that aren't considered good people versus people that are. I think people need to stop being convinced to give people a chance who don't fit the criteria of a good person. Like, stop letting the internet convince you should give everybody a chance. And this goes for men and women alike. I think the more that you can stay away from people who are toxic, the moment that you see it and just like exit stage left, the more opportunity you give yourself to filter through to somebody who's actually a good person.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, before I go into the video, okay, let me just go into the video because I'm trying to make sure the time is right, and we can just go into that. What in the hell is going on?
Y'all hear that beeping?
That's my computer. That's why I said, "What is the hell?"
Them beeps follow you around. If it ain't your carbon monoxide detector, your computer beeping at you. Walk down the street, the men beeping at you.
No, I had clicked on the wrong link and it just had these little pop-ups that came up. So sorry.
Pop-ups, you say?
Why do men, when they have a good woman at home, like, why do they still feel the need to mess with multiple women?
Most men cheat just based on the availability of the situation, if we're going to be real. A lot of times it's not even necessarily what she's doing, is that these options are available to me, and I'm interested in something different. Me and you might have been together 9, 10 years or whatever the case may be, and you didn't show me every possible move you can. And then I run across this woman who's willing to just throw it at me any different type of way, and just curiosity alone is going to push most men to go out there and say, let me just at least see what it is.
I want to stay on what Trill said for a second, though, because, we hear about these divorce rates, right? 80% of women are choosing to divorce and different things like that. But maybe a part of it is there's no real incentive other than your morals, right? There's no real incentive to being a good woman. We sat here and we listened to somebody say, oh, if you stay at home, you cook. What? Hold on. You stay at home, you cook, you clean, you do this, you do what you think a good woman is supposed to do. And you said after 9 or 10 years, it just may be curiosity. And it's like, could you imagine, looking on the other side of things, can you imagine being at home, doing what you got to do, raising your family, raising your kids, and your man degrade your relationship, throw away everything that you built over? I mean, it might feel different. Like,
okay, so before we get into that, this is the thing. We all know that women are the ones who usually pull the trigger on marriage, right? Divorce. Okay. Now I watched a show and there was some divorce attorneys on there, and they were saying usually if there's infidelity, women will wait a little bit and then they'll pull the trigger, especially if it's multiple times. Okay. Whereas men may sit and just take whatever the problem is in the relationship. But my question to you is, are you really just taking it? What is the incentive? So what it looks like is when men, and I could be wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. When men are in a relationship, they have an out. So they cheat, that's their out. They don't leave the relationship. They just do other things to offset what's going on in the relationship. But women don't have that out. Okay. So the incentive to be the good woman, and we know, okay, society says men are gonna cheat, men cheat, da, 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 da. But then what is the incentive of being this great woman who cooks, cleans, take care of the kids, does all these fancy things, if the inevitable is he may cheat, right? Go ahead, Iman.
So I hear this all the time, but like your character is your character. And if you allow somebody else's behavior to influence your character, you never really had character in the first place. So whether that man cheats or not has no bearing on whether you are a good woman or not. And you choosing not to be a good woman out of fear for that man cheating gets in your own way of attaining a man who may not. Right? By being a woman who isn't considered a good woman, do you really have the option to attain a man who's a good man? So like, I hear the logic, I understand. It's a big fear that a lot of women have. It's a huge betrayal of trust for a man to cheat. Yes, polygamy is an answer, but some people do cheat in polygamy. A cheater will always cheat. Somebody who is dishonest, that is their character. But you altering your own character based on somebody else's behavior is really not a real solution.
Well, let me change that around, okay? Because your character, you're right. If you're a nice person, you're a nice person. You're a good person, you're a good person. But what I'm saying is all the perks, right? Because you not cooking doesn't mean you're not a good person. You not hustling, like doing all these things, like putting in all this extra work doesn't mean you're not a good person. It just means that you don't want to give the effort anymore, right? So I want to make sure when I say good, that's what I'm talking about. What's the incentive of
that, the perks that come along with being with a good man, saying that you're willing to take care of him and do all of those extras okay,
right? That's what I meant about that.
Mm-hmm.
And there again, that's why when you say good, people have to start clarifying, because the internet, y'all don't want to be good men. No, please clarify what good means. Good can mean he's just a nice guy, he's got great character, but there's so many other things under good that it takes to run a household, right? So I wanted to bring that in. So I'll go ahead.
Can y'all give us like the top 5 things is what you consider a good man?
Do you think that is going to be different for?
It's individualized.
That's why I asked for y'all to each do it.
For me, I would say honesty. I would definitely say, for me, a need that I have is the emotional, being able to provide emotional fulfillment. Really, those are my top 2. I think with that. Well, no.
3 more.
I would say to being able to financially, and I wouldn't even say provide, because I think that's kind of the thing that we got into, is that when we say financially provide, that means that we expect the man to cover everything. And to be honest, if I had that, it would be great, just like anybody else would appreciate that, but that wouldn't be a necessarily an expectation that would be a deal breaker. Like, as long as he is really contributing, like hustling and helping, taking care of, I don't mind putting in my part as well in that. So that is not necessarily my like top 3, but definitely he has to be a provider, but not just in a financial sense. I'll say having good character and open to, like, that he likes to learn. I would say those are my top 5, because I need somebody that can teach me something as well.